Alex THFC. Alex THFC. Hello. Just this is a stream just to talk about the Conte appointment. Really, it's just a question really of going on, just discussing the fallout of everything that's happened during the past couple of days, couple of weeks, or a week ago, a week with Tottenham, with what's happened with the sacking of Nuno, the Manchester United game reaction, and um, and Conte's appointment. Just really just want to just get my thoughts out there about what's happened the previous week or so, just including not including the uh, the Carabao Cup game, but also but mainly the Manchester United game and what's happened since then. It's a lot of things that have happened. A lot of things have happened, and it's been pretty mad, to be honest with you. Really. So I'm hoping everybody's well, and I can see there's been a lot of excitement about Conte, a lot of excitement. I think you can go over the top about it. It's it's a it's a quite a interesting acquisition getting Conte in. But yeah, let's get into it. Um, I mean, mainly the main point of this stream is asking the question, saying, talking about Conte's appointment, but has anything changed? Has anything changed in what's happened currently? Has anything changed with our expectations? Has anything changed with what we expect for this season? What we want to achieve this season? Now, I've got my thoughts, and this is why I'm on the stream today to share that with you today. It's good to see some people here. I can see Cody Mack just saying Conte. It's good to see you, Cody. I hope you're doing well. Um, Now, I mean, like I said, it's just really just a stream just to see what it's all about in terms of what my thoughts are about the whole situation as well. I mean, going back on the game, I was there. It was pretty boring, to be honest with you. The whole game, I wasn't really impressed with what I saw on Saturday night. Um, it just was very turgid. I wasn't impressed at all with what was going on the pitch. Um, as soon as I saw the formation, I saw the players that were picked, the lineup. As soon as I saw Davis in that formation, I knew that there was going to be a few Tottenham fans, quite a few Tottenham fans fuming. Now, I mean, I defend Davis. I don't think Davis is a bad player. I think he's he has his qualities. Maybe you would say that he's not the best. I mean, he's not the best in terms of going forward, I would say. But in the past, he has lost his pace, I would say. Um, but I mean, it was a decision that I was quite surprised at the start at that beginning during the lineup for me. I thought Reguilon was nailed on for that game, even though for me I don't think he's performed very well. But I've made my feelings clear on that. I don't think I need to repeat that. Um, the fact the Celso was playing as well, that gave him a little bit more um, confidence. I felt as well, going through the fact that he hasn't been having a lot of game time. Um, but I mean, overall, I just felt that. I mean, I'm still surprised Kane was playing. I mean, I felt that Son warranted being up front, and then I felt that maybe you could play more of a support in him for me, because for me Kane didn't fit in that formation um, of the of the three for me. He's the one that's your man out, and I think Song's the main striker for me. So there's quite a lot of things that I could dissect out of that formation, which just sums up why I felt that it was the wrong formation for Manchester United. Um, and all the other rest of the aspects of the team, I felt was all right in terms of what we expected. Going on to the game, I mean, like I said, it was very, very turgid. We did try. I mean, I would say Manchester United were not very good either. Very. I mean, I didn't feel the format. I didn't. I just didn't feel the game. It was a game of two teams that were not very confident, and that was a clear aspect of the game for me. Um, didn't know how they were playing in terms of what didn't know how they wanted to play, and it's trying to figure themselves out for me. And I for me just did. I just wasn't confident. I wasn't confident at all, really. And I'm pretty much, for me, I was very very disappointed in terms of how we didn't get at them. We were slow on the ball. It was just passing it sideways, not really getting anywhere. And I mean, I would say the defense was all right at the start for me. I think they were all right for me. I felt they were, Romero put himself about a lot of the time and didn't give Ronaldo didn't give him a kick for me. I was really really impressed with him at the beginning. Um, and I think we had control over that, but it's just in attack, it just wasn't going anywhere for me. And it did get lethargic as well, and it did become a situation where you could see if we didn't get a goal or early goal, it be, would become more problematic. And earlier on, we did score, um, not officially, obviously, because it was offside, and I thought that could have kicked us on if we got that goal. But in the end, um, it was a mistake from Davis. I can see David's in the chat. Was David sending me a message now saying, "Big up, Alex! Another Davis masterclass." I mean, honestly, I don't. I could say. I mean, I would say that it's not. I don't think you can completely blame Davis for what he did. But I feel that he was an aspect of the team that just didn't work on the day, unfortunately, and that really would summed it up the whole day for me. Um, and as it gone on, we just got worse and worse and worse and worse. It was really boring. The way that we played, we just didn't have any way of getting through and way of getting chances and scoring and making chances and scoring. I mean, I was just not impressed with any of the aspects of our play. We didn't have a way of trying to get through the lines and stuff. And Manchester United just, whenever they came forward, they were just clinical with the players that they have. I mean, Cavani, I was very impressed with, really impressed with. I thought in terms of getting through. I thought he had lots of energy. And for a man like his age, you know, he's someone that you would want to inspire to have in your team really, um, as a striker. Ronaldo, clinical, very clinical for me. Um, but I mean, on the whole, I wasn't impressed. It wasn't a Man United side that was, really, absolutely outstanding. So it tells ourselves where we are as a club at the moment, really. Um, Obviously, going on to what's going on now, with the appointment that we've made now and the sacking of Nuno, which I will go on later on. I mean, it's different now, isn't it? But yeah, I mean, it was an absolute mess, really, and I think it summed it up. And I don't really want to repeat what everybody else is saying, but it was the feeling that I felt as well, admittedly, when when Mora came off, when he was subbed off, it was a confusion for me. It was a huge confusion for me. Um, Big up to you, Bob, in the chat. By the way, just seeing you comment there. Also, look, it's on Yi Ian. Thank you for your comment as well. But yeah, it was a bit of a scratch head moment when when Moira came off. I wasn't I was a bit confused about that. I thought the person that should have came off and it was clear that needed to come off was Kane, um, because he wasn't getting into the game whatsoever. I wasn't impressed with him at all, and I just felt that for me, Son is the main striker for me, and it was proved it on that day for me. And I didn't feel that they I think that just kind of killed off the game for me. After that, well, I think the second goal killed off the game further, but definitely after that, it became very, very tense throughout that game as well, which was very disappointing as well. So yeah, it's just in overall, it was just terrible. And in terms of what after the game, you did feel this was kind of it it was the end of the road in that sense. For me, even though for me, I felt that I was very unsure whether Tottenham would make that decision to sack Nuno. But looking back and listening to what's been said and reported, the writing was on the wall when after the second goal, Prategy left and stormed out the stage, stormed out of his seat and left and didn't come back to his seat. I think that summed it all up. Summed it up perfectly. That yes, definitely Nuno's position is untenable right now. And listening to what's happened since then, um, in regards to Nuno and the way he managed some of the players, it was quite inevitable that unfortunately it just wasn't the right decision. It was a complete wrong decision to appoint Nuno, and yeah, it was unfortunately his end of his tenure, and he was sacked. So, but I mean, really, it just shows when you don't plan and don't have a plan and don't look at what you need, plan forward and know what you want as a manager, as a coach, and have a philosophy. These sort of mistakes are going to happen, unfortunately, and I think that just sums up Tottenham, unfortunately. Um, so yeah, I think that just really sums it up for me. In terms of, I'm just looking now if I've just forgot anything that I've just remembered at all. Yeah, in terms of strategy, I mean, I came with the theory that the sacking of Nuno would have been undermining him ultimately. I felt that sacking Nuno which was his man, whether he was his fourth, third, he recommended Nuno to Daniel Levy. But it seems to me, from what I understand, that Prategy was the one that sacked him. Now, if that's the case, that just shows you that he's ruthless as well as he's ruthless as Levy as well. So, but I mean, I still am keeping to my opinion that he would have had a really serious chat with Levy and said to him, I'm not here to mess about. I'm not here to ruin my reputation. So I would recommend you right now to get Conte back in right now, because if you don't get Conte in, I'm off. I'm not here to mess about here. And the fact is, you know, he doesn't need Tottenham strategy. I mean, in terms of Conte, going on to Conte, it's interesting. Um, the news of him coming out saying that um, it was him. Well, it was he didn't want to come to Tottenham in the summer because he felt too emotionally attached to Inter Milan. It wasn't anything to do with leaving. It was very complimentary of Levy in terms of what he wanted. You see, um, so yeah, I think it's a case of I don't know. I'm glad. I'm really. It's the right appointment for us. It's the right appointment for us. I think you can't hide away from it. He is the right appointment for us because we've got no choice. And I think Alistair Gold summed it all up by saying, "Well, we're desperate. We are desperate. We are literally desperate for Conte." Um, and we've got to go back um our tails between our legs basically, and ask him to come back, come into the club. So really all the power is with Conte on this. So we are basically having to do what he wants, which you know, you can look at it like, well, Levy wants things on his terms. Um, so you're unsure whether this will work or not. But I feel in my eyes is that you know you've put yourself in this situation. You've got yourself this um, managing director in strategy, which I've had arguments with people saying that I'm saying it completely wrong, but it's not completely wrong. I'll tell you this for a fact: it's not Paratici, it's Parachegy. That's the way you pronounce it, because Alistair Gold says that when he said Paratici, they correct him, the press officer, and says it's Parachegy. So it's Parachegy for anybody, because I know a lot of people have tried to say that I'm saying it completely wrong, but I know exactly why I'm how to say it, because I'm listening to the right people who've told me how to tell me how to say it. Um, Sorry if I'm waffling on a little bit, but I think I'm trying to keep it structured as much as I can. But yeah, I do feel that this is the right appointment because I think the players need a little bit of a shake-up. I think. I don't think, and I think I've heard a lot of people in some ways saying that certain players will definitely be out, be taken out the team. Now, for me, I don't think that's the case. I don't think that's the case at all for me. Unfortunately, I really don't. I feel, for me personally, um, it's up in the air who's going to be out the team. I think certain players you can pretty much say they're nailed on, like Romero, for instance. Um, Maybe the goalkeeper, Lloris. But if you look at it from a a long way, if you look at it completely, I wouldn't say that. I think every player's position's under threat, even Kane's. Even Kane's. If you really want me to go into it even further, I think Kane's position's in a threat even more for me, because listening to Lukaku, and I base it on some of the players that I've heard about who's been managed by Conte. Um, Even though Lukaku was Conte's signing, it's quite interesting that he was very hard on everyone, and it didn't matter whether they were his signings, a top player, prospect. You'll treat everyone the same, and if you're not putting in the work and the hard work, you're out the team. You're out the team, and that's it. You, he, he always says that he wants hard work from his players. Now, I'm not going to possess that I know a lot about Conte. Um, I mean, I was trying to do a little bit of research before, but I feel that I think, unfortunately, I think I'll get to know him more as we go on. Now, I've heard a lot of people say that this changes a lot in terms of because he's a decorated manager, which is proven. Yes, he is a well decorated manager, um, and he's done a lot in terms of winning trophies, accolades as well. Um, Now, I've been told that of this is going to change the game for Tottenham now, and because we're in November, we are going to go on a fantastic run, which is possible. I can't say that it's not possible. You can't say that it's not possible. And looking at the fixtures as well that we've got ahead of us, there is a possibility that we could go on a good run, big run. Looking at the games that are coming up, because I'm looking at the games that are coming up. We've got Everton, who are not on good form at the moment. Leeds. Um, I mean, I forgot the test game, but I don't think he'll be ready for that game. Unfortunately, I don't think he'll be in charge for that game. Maybe I don't know. Then we've got more in the Europa Conference League. Then Burnley, Brentford, and then Norwich, and then Rennes in the Europa Conference League. You can't overlook Brighton because they're in good form at the moment, and then Leicester. So it's a good run of games going forward for Tottenham. The only thing I would say is that I can't see Tottenham. I don't feel that Tottenham are. I don't feel that it can be done so quickly. I mean, into top four, you need to be in a good run. You need to get into a good run. I feel a good run of games, and I feel that also. I still stick by the fact that the fact is that there is a certain points tally which everyone I've said already, and I don't think I need to repeat myself again. A certain points tally that Tottenham need to get top four, and unfortunately, until March, April, I will not make that judgment. I will not make that judgment at all. So that's what I feel at the moment. I think that's the main thing for me going forward. Um, so yeah, that's what I feel at the moment. I'm not I'm not sold on us getting top four. I do feel that we've got a chance in the cups. It does, and it's great that he's been appointed before the West Ham game. Got some time to prepare for that. The Carabao Cup game I'm referring to, because that's a very important game for us in terms of knocking West Ham down a peg, knocking West Ham down a peg or two. Also, it's another opportunity for a trophy. I will feel with the League Cup, but it will be kind of a tick box, and it will be a tick box for me, because it only brings you just the Conference League. If we really look at it from there, really, um, I think it will gives us a very good chance for the FA Cup, moving forward. Um, and you've got to say that because I think that Conference League is important, even though it's not the best competition in the world to be in at the moment. Um, it's another opportunity to get into Europa League with that. So I feel that this is a very good. I think it does enhance our opportunities at the cups, definitely. In terms of the league, I think, like I said, I think that you have to see how it goes. Um, it depends on how long how much time he gets on the training ground as well. Training grounds, training facilities with the players to show his ideas to them, try and get his ideas across to some of the players. Now he's experienced enough to do that and get that across very well. Um, and he won't. It will be ruthless, from what I understand as well. So yeah, I think that's the main thing for him going forward. I mean, the main thing is with him, he normally likes to play 3-5-2. That's the main thing for me, for him, Conte. I mean, and he demands everything for everybody, every player, um, mostly all the time. And if you don't do that, you're not in the team, which I think is, I think that's fair in my eyes. You want fair all ground, and that's why I'm saying I don't think it's quite. I don't think it's for me. I don't think it's just. I don't feel that it's. For me, it's clear cut who's going to be out of the team and in the team for me, because with Conte's teams in the past, there's been surprises of players that not been regulars in the team before, but then turn into someone that becomes a regular under Conte. So that's going to be interesting to see as well. So uh, it's a very interesting proposition. This I'm still going to keep calm about Conte, because it, it's still a risk. Um, there is news out there that, and there is an article out there now about Kessie for AC Milan, that we're in in talks with him as well, which I've seen. It's a source from Italy. It's Italy, I think it is now. I haven't got the source at the moment, but I've seen that on Football London, um, which is interesting. But I mean, I think at the moment, I think he'll be concentrating on the fitness side of things. The fitness side of things is really important. Something that I thought was going to be sorted by Nuno, but it looks like that. Well, it was sorted out by Nuno. I think it was just really preparation was mostly the complaints from some of the players, which for me, I mean, it depends on what you believe in who what you read. Because I think it's getting to the point now with some of the players that when is it not going to be about the manager and about the players for me? And even me defending a lot of the players a lot of the time, I just feel that it, it it's about you. It's about the players making the effort. There's only so much a manager can do and the coach can do to, you know, give you the tools to do what you need to be doing on the pitch. So really, it does come down to the players putting that effort in and trying to want to improve themselves. Um, and that's where I do agree with certain fans and certain aspects of what people are saying. But I will say this, that well, I mean, I will say this, that there are certain circumstances why players have not excelled, why players have not got to what they not achieved what they wanted to achieve, um, and it's important for them to, it's important to have the right environment to do that. Now, Conte will not make it easy for them, But I think it's really a case of them putting that effort into to show that they are worthy of being in the first team, and hopefully with this change and the attitude of Conte, this is gonna push Tottenham forward, um, even to hopefully good heights in terms of possibly I would say Europa League. Hopefully, it would be nice to get into Champions League. It would be nice to get into Champions League, but for me, I will be realistic. Um, you can't expect things to just happen very, very quickly. Um, we did think this with Mourinho. We did think this with Mourinho. It didn't work out there. We could say it's different because we've got Paratici. We've got Paratici at the moment, and yeah, I mean, hopefully things can progress. Um, but we have to see how it goes the first couple of games. Um, I'm going to the Vitesse game on Thursday as it stands, and I am going to the Leeds game in a couple of weeks' time. So I'll be interested to see how things are around then, and with a few training sessions with Conte, um, probably will be better preparation. Only what some of the players have said anyway. Better preparation will help um, us as a team. And I think main complaint I would say is us as a squad. I think we're so reliant on certain players going forward. I mean, I think it will improve. I hope certain players will still be in the team, like Skip, for instance. I hope that he gets his chance. I hope that we'll see more a better. I hope we'll see. Well, I hope what I will hope to see is Ali up front, because I think that would be a great position for him, and he can get a lot out of him. I hope that we can get the best out of Ndombele, who for me still needs a lot of work. Still, he's getting there, but we all know that there's more to give for him as well. I think. Um, I've got to say big up to Bob as well because I'm just reading your comment here. Um, Nuno should never have been offered the job. It's clearly too big for him. Once offered, he never going to turn it down. Big up, Alex. Thank you, Bob. Um, yeah, yeah, I totally agree with you. He should never have got the job in the first place. Never should have got the job in the first place. It was a terrible decision, really, wasn't it? But it was a bad summer for us that summer, wasn't it? Really, which we don't really need to go into again because we're repeating ourselves again, aren't we? Really. Um, but yeah, I think this is very good. This is exciting times for Tottenham. Very exciting times, and we just got to wait and see what happens. I'm not going to get ahead of myself though. I still feel this is a difficult season still. Um, but with an experienced manager like Conte, with everything that he's been promised and going forward, I'm not going to say Pratic is a Don because he's not a Don. He hasn't achieved anything yet. I mean, we've got a great, ambitious manager here, but he's not the trophy. We haven't won a trophy yet. We haven't won anything yet. All we've got a great manager, which he is a great manager. You can't lie. He's a fantastic manager with you know great pedigree. But we've done this before in the past with Mourinho, um, and it's not worked out. So we've got to just watch this space for me, and see what happens. Um, but it's the right direction, definitely, and I think it was the only direction. And there will be implications if this does not work, though. And I do put a warning out there. If it doesn't work, there will be implications. And I'm not just talking about Conte leaving. I'm talking about Pratici leaving, um, and us as a club. You know, top managers are not going to want to come to us. So it's really in our interest to make this work. So I'm hoping that this will help. This will be successful. Be successful. I mean, we can dream that things can, us winning the title. That would be great in the next couple of years. I hope that would be something that we remember forever in my life. Definitely. Um, I will still say the same thing about the League Cup. It's just a tick box. The FA Cup, I stick by what I say. It's something that I would love to win because it did cut me up seeing Leicester winning it last year. Definitely, it's definitely one of those cups that I want to see, and I definitely want to. I want a win. Definitely. Um, so yeah, for me, that's where I want to. That's what I want. Definitely. Um, but yeah, I think that's really what I've just wanted to say. Really. But yeah, it's been great stream tonight. Chatting to all you guys. Thank you for all of your comments and thank you for your support. Um, I will do another stream like this. I'm quite new to this, and I will try and get more streams out there. I just really wanted to get my thoughts out there about Conte and Nuno sacking. I mean, Nuno, thank you for his service. I do thank you for his service and stuff, but unfortunately, it was just not going to work, wasn't it? And really, it's just been the summarization of how badly this club has been run. Um, for how long it has been, unfortunately, and really, it's just for us now to just get behind what is going on. I will always be honest. I will always be honest about my club. I'm not going to shirk away from being not being honest about my club. Even when people want to say, "Oh, you need to be enthusiastic." Well, I'm always going to be honest about my club. I've been a supporter for a very long time now. Um, and I've not seen the Tottenham win a lot during my time frame. I've seen a lot of disappointments, and that's grounded me. That has grounded me hugely, because you're not going to win everything. You're not going to be a winner all the time. Unfortunately, you're not. Unfortunately, um, I think I also want to talk about the test game um, on Thursday. For me, if he's in charge, I think it's going to be a strong team without Kane. Without Kane, I think he would be safe for that game against Everton. I think he'll be on the sub. I think he'll be on the substitute bench. But I do feel that Son will be up front, and I'm hoping to see Ali up front. I'm hoping to see Ali up front. That's the main thing for me. I think he needs a. I think he needs a chance up front. I think this will give us a taster to see whether he fits into Conte's plans or not. Because going forward, I don't think the midfield is going to be a place where he's going to be suited anymore. For me, anyway, that's my opinion. Looking at the whole other parts of the team, and I'm just trying to bring that up right now. Just seeing some of the players. Here we go. I mean, I do hope, I really hope that Tanganga is still going to be in his plans. I really do hope because he's a fantastic defender, and I think he's a very good prospect. So I hope he does do that. For me, Moira. For me, looking at Moira, for me, I think he needs to be more up front. I think he definitely needs to be more up front. I mean, it depends on what Conte wants from him. I don't know whether it's going to be he'll like Moira because he'll trap back a lot of the time as well, and he'll press as well. He'll put a lot of effort in as well. But I don't know whether that would. I don't know if that's really his really right position. I don't. He doesn't stay out on the width, and I think that's one of the reasons why he came off against Manchester United, because Bergwijn, he does use the width a lot of the time. So I mean, but in hindsight, though, you do look at it though, he should never have came off in that game though. The player that should have come off was Kane, like I said before. But I do feel that his position is definitely more forward for me, more forward than number 10 for me. So I'm hoping to see that more from him. Um, there is things going in the press about Emerson, one of his Conte's admires Emerson. So it'd be interesting to see how he plays him, what he does. Um, I think it will. I think Højbjerg will endear himself to him. I feel, but I would like to see more because I don't think it. Like I said, I'm not going to repeat what I said about Højbjerg because I don't think it's. I don't think everybody knows what I feel about Højbjerg now. I still think we need to see more of him. Um, but I think I'd like to see Skip more in that position as well because I think he's got more to his game. It'll be interesting to see what the centre backs are though, because from what I understand though, he likes a high line. So for me, if you're playing a high line, you need pace. So if you're looking at pace, you think about Romero, guaranteed. Don't like saying it, but he's world class. It's quite clear he's world class. I think he's better than Varane in my opinion, because I wasn't impressed by Varane against Manchester United. Um, I would say also Sanchez. I would say, and also Rodon as well. Um, I don't think Davis. I don't think Dave. I don't think you can count out Davis. I don't think you can count out Davis. He hasn't been performing well, and like I said, I wasn't impressed with the way that he he was during the he was after the interview after the Vitesse game. I think he was making a lot of excuses, and he didn't apologise and acknowledge the fans that went over there. I'll still stick by what I say there, but I think as a left centre back, I think he'll still be really, really good. Um, and if he focuses on being a left centre back, I think you've got a good player there for me. Um, Definitely, I think you've got a good centre back there. So I think he'll be playing probably in that game. Um, you might see Ndombele as well. With the way that Conte is in terms of his persona and what he wants from players, it'd be interesting to see. And he did want him at Inter Milan as well. It's reported. It'd be interesting to see how he changes him up and gets what he gets out of Ndombele. That would be interesting, definitely. Um, for me, yes. That'll be interesting. Brian Gill, see how the young players are developing. He developed some of the young players. I think Winks is going to find it very difficult, unfortunately. But again, you might have a surprise out in there. You might have a surprise in there for me. I don't know. We don't know really. Um, who else is there? Who else is there? Som. Well, I think you'll love Son. I think you'll absolutely love Son for me. I think he's a striker for me. I don't think he's a right winger anymore. I don't, well, left winger if you want to call it. Sessegnon will be an interesting one, and Matt Doherty as well. Sessegnon's been had bad luck with injuries, unfortunately, and it'll be interesting to see what he does with Sessegnon. I think if he doesn't get if the injuries persist, I can see, unfortunately, Sessegnon going out on loan. Yeah, I can see that. Unfortunately, him going out on loan. I think that will happen. Unfortunately, with him. So yeah, we'll see what happens there. So yeah, it's and then I think in terms of the lineup, like I said, going on to the Vitesse game, I think it's going to be a strong lineup. A strong lineup. I definitely think that you'll see Reguilon play at left back. Um, no, actually, no. What am I saying? What am I saying? Left full back with Emerson on the right as well. I think what I will see is definitely Romero will be in centre defence. Interesting to see what the goalkeeper will be. I think it could be Lloris, just to see how he is. I think it's a test to see how he is, or it might be Galini. It probably will be Galini. Thinking about it now, because he might know a lot about him anyway. Um, then I think we'll see the road on. It'd be interesting to see Dyer plays, but I do feel that he will be very confident in Romero dealing with things as a leader there at the back. So I think Sanchez and Rodon will be either side of him. That's the likelihood. I think he will stick with Højbjerg in defence. I mean, defensive midfielder. I'd like to see Skip there. I think Skip is very good, and I think he looked very good against Wolves with the likes of Ndombele and the Celso. I think they do link up very well as well. I think he's got that sort of synergy there, and he can link up with them as well, and he makes them tick for me. So I'd like to see that in Skip in that pivot. I would say. Then you've got either Lo Celso and Ndombele as there. Then I would say you play two up front. So you've got Son, Human Son, and you've got Dele Alli. So that's your formation, I would say. So I think that's pretty good formation for me. Good first 11 for me. And then you've got Kane on the sub bench, and you're just bringing him on. So I think that's a good formation. I think that's a very good formation. I wish I could give you a graphic, but unfortunately, I haven't got a graphic to show you what I've done, what I've said there. So, but I probably will sort that out on the next stream when if I do another stream in the next couple of days, or for the preview of the Everton game. So yeah, I think it's quite it's quite it's quite interesting to see what happens the next couple of weeks and the forthcoming months with Tottenham. The Everton game, Everton are in really bad form, and I'm shocked by how badly they're playing. It doesn't really seem to be working out for Rafael Benitez at the moment. So it's pretty bad. That in that sense. So I would expect Kane to be playing in that game definitely, and then Reece comes back, and then he will play his first team that he thinks is the best team for him. But again, it's down to what's happens on the training ground, isn't it? Really, and then we'll get an idea what his thoughts are on the squad. Which I think is going to take a bit of time for him to get to know his players. He'll have his thoughts on already, initial thoughts on certain players, definitely. But we don't know. We really don't know whether one player will work out, and I think there'll be a lot of surprises. A lot of people are saying that Ali will be out the team, Doherty will be out the team, Winks will be out the team. I think Winks will have a problem. I think people will have a shock about Ali. I think it does open the door for Doherty, even though I think he's been very, very disappointing, very, very disappointing in the way that he's come across and played, and even with the manager like Nuno, who managed him at Wolves. You think that Nuno could have got the best out of him, but he even wanted to let him go, didn't he? And I do see why we need to let him go. I just don't see any improvement on him. Unfortunately, I just don't see it. I don't see it at all. Unfortunately, for me, um, but we have to just to wait and see what happens. Wait and see what happens. But yeah, that's really just my thoughts at the moment. It was a bit. I'm sorry if it was a bit not structured as much as I wanted it to be structured today. But it will be more structured the next time, definitely. As I go on doing these streams, it's always going to be live. Only if I haven't got time, I'll do. I've got to get my thoughts out quickly. Maybe I will do a stream, but the main thing is trying to get you guys to ask me questions, what I feel. Get some traction in terms of talking about Tottenham and what your thoughts are, guys, and what you feel is what your opinions are, and hopefully we can see some success the next couple of this season. Even though I'm very calm about this at the moment, we've got to be very calm and realistic at the moment and see what happens and see what this brings. And not get too ahead of ourselves, which we easily can happen, unfortunately. So yeah, I think I've covered everything in terms of what I wanted to say today. I think I have covered everything I wanted to say today, anyway. But yeah, I think I will leave it there. Again, thank you for everybody for watching today, and hopefully you have a great day. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye.